Dear students, welcome to the virtual learning platform of Shri Guru Sudhindra College. So in this video, we are going to discuss about managing the input and output files in Java. So the video is of around 10 to 15 minutes, and in this video, we are going to discuss a few things about the input and output file concept in Java. So first and foremost here, so let us understand the normal storage system. So whenever we talk about storage, normally we are going to store the contents, and whatever we are going to store, the data stores in variables. As you know, in program we are going to use number of variables, and these variables are going to hold the data. But there is a issue here. The issue is, as and when the particular event occurs, we are going to lose the data. See, here there are various cases here. The three cases are mentioned on screen. You can just check. We are going to lose the data, right? So we are going to lose the data under these three circumstances. Basically, the first one is variable goes out of scope. For every variable, it will be declared within a particular scope, right? As and when the control goes out of the scope, we are going to lose the content of this particular variable, right? So we are going to lose the data. So this is the first reason. Then second, there is another reason: program terminated. In a program, as and when you run the program, the variable will be holding the data. As and when we terminate the program, we are going to lose that particular data. So this is the second reason. Then third, there is another reason. It's very difficult to handle the large volume of data using variables and arrays. So as we know, variables can hold a limited amount of data. If the data is moderate, like above average, then under that circumstances we are going to use arrays. So in case if the data is very large, right, if the volume is very large, then it's very difficult to implement it even using variables and arrays, right? See, these are the three different cases. In general program, we are going to use various variables, and as and when the variable it goes out of the scope, we are going to lose the data. If the program terminates, then we are going to lose the data, and even it's very difficult to handle the large volume of data using these variables and arrays. So now this is the problem, but we should not be the part of the problem. We need to be the part of solution. Let us think about the solution. So what is the solution for this? The solution is usage of secondary devices. Usage of secondary device is the best solution for this. But now, to store the data in secondary devices, there are lots of different kind of secondary storage devices. So we need to understand the data storage methods and the file formats. So in this particular video, we are going to focus on what the data storage is all about and what kind of file format we are going to use. So first and foremost, let us try to understand the different methods of documents. So there are four levels here. The first level is about character, the second one is about field, the third one is about records, and the fourth one, last but not the least, it's about file. So we need to understand about character, then about field, then record and file. The concept, it looks similar to the DBMS aspects, database management system. Yes, the true. Even in Java programming language, in every programming, what we do is we play with this data. So here we need to understand the data format. So now let us focus on this, the very basic aspect. This is a byte equivalent to 8 bits. So here you can see. So let me consider this as an example. Just assume this particular data, it is representing an alphabet J. So similarly, consider this is another data which is representing something else. So 1 byte is equals to 8 bits. So here you can see there are 8 different blocks, right? There are 8 different blocks, 8 different compartments, 8 different bits. The combination of 8 bits, we call it as 1 byte. Similarly, there are different bytes. For example, on this screen there are only 2 bytes. Now collection of 1 byte you can consider here in general in terms as it as character. So let us call it as Unicode character. So this is one character. Now let us focus on the second one, field. So in this case, in this example, here what we are doing, we are using 4 characters. So what are those 4 characters? First one is J, second one is O, then third one is H, and the fourth one is N. John is a field here. In this field, there are 4 different characters, right? So individual character is this. So this is the first character, this is the second character, this is the third character, and there is a fourth character. So there are 4 different characters. So group of character is known as field. Now the next level is, we need to consider field. Group of field is known as record. So in this case, in this example, we are using total 3 fields. John 1001 70.50 are the 3 different fields, as and when you combine the 3 different fields or number of fields, you are going to get the record here. And the fourth and the last one is all about file. What is a file? File is nothing but collection of records. Now let us consider from top down approach we could do. Now let us go through from bottom up approach. So bottom up approach, it says there is a file, there is a record, there is a field, and there is a character, right? In the reverse style here, from bottom to top, file, record, field, character, file, record, field, and character. So this is about the file organization system. Now, so here so far we could discuss what data is all about and what is the method of storage, then finally the types, then about its the different methods. Now let us focus on what stream is all about, right? So here there is a picture which is a self-explanatory. At the center you can find a Java program. So as and when you talk about a program, for a program we'll find there are lots of inputs, and normally for every program there will be a output, right? So in few cases without input the program will work, but output is mandatory. So here in this picture you can see there is a program at the center, at the heart of the entire picture, at the center left hand side. Here you can see the various input possibilities, and at the right hand side you can see various output possibilities. This left side we call it as source, and the right side here we call it as destination. And in the left side, whatever the source we have, in that the first one is keyboard, mouse, memory, disk, network, right? See, these are the various sources. And at the right hand side there are various destination, the output units. The program, it takes input from various sources, it processes and it generates the output, and that output will be given, or the output can be fetched using various other devices here. Now, what are the various sources for input? Through keyboard you can input, through mouse you can input, through memory you can input, through disk you can input, through network you can take input. Now, once the program takes input from these different sources, it's going to process and it sends the output. Whatever output the program generates, it can be displayed on the screen, it can be printed using the printer, it can be saved using the internal memory or a primary memory. The output can be stored for a permanent usage for a secondary memory, and finally we can use a network and we can send this output to the either to the cloud or to the other network or to another computer system, right? See here, this is the concept of streams. So here there is a Java program at the center. This program, it is taking input from various sources. Either it may be a one source or it may be a combination of more than one source. Here, based on the type of program, based on the type of system, we consider the input may be from keyboard or from mouse or from the internal memory or from the secondary disk or from the network. Similarly, the output, from the output, whatever the process happens here in the program, that may be displayed using the screen, or it may be printed using a printer, or it may be stored using what you call the memory, or the output may be stored by using the secondary devices, or finally the output can be accessed by using the network. So this is the concept of streams. Now here we need to understand the streams in detail. So when you talk about stream has got various characteristics. The first one is they share common characteristics, right? So whenever we talk about streams, here there are lots of streams we are talking about. These are the input streams, these are the output streams. all input streams, what is happening here? They share the common characteristics, right? So what is the common characteristic here? See here, all these are the input streams. It has a source, it has a destination here, and from here to here the information is moving, the data is moving, right? So there are, in between every unit there is a similarity. So that is the first one, common characteristics. The second one is unidirectional movement of data. It's very important here, right? So what is happening here? There is a unidirectional data. From keyboard to program you are moving, from mouse to program you are moving, from program you can't send it to the mouse, from program you can't send it to the keyboard, but you can see here, right? So from program you can send it to the screen, from screen you can't take it to the program, right? So in this way, so on that basis unidirectional movement of data can be observed here. The third one is treating data as sequence of characters or byte. Now what is the data here? Data is nothing but it is a sequence of, it is a group of different characters. It's nothing but group of bytes. The last one is support of sequential access to the data. So what happens here? It gives the sequential access to the data. So whatever data we have, here we are talking about its storage also. So the sequential access to the data it provides. So this is about the concept of streams. So dear students, we have come to the end of the video. So before ending or before closing the video, let me spend another 30 seconds to revise. So in this video we have discussed what data storage is all about, and what happens when you store the data in variables, and what are the various circumstances under which the data is, we are going to lose the data. Then even we could focus about what is the solution, right? So instead being the part of problem, we need to be the part of solution. Even that we could discuss. Then our focus was on the byte, character, field, record, and even on the file. Then finally we have discussed what are the various input streams, what are the various output streams, and how the process happens. And finally we have focused on the concept of streams, what stream is all about, and what are the various characteristics of streams. So that's it in this video. So in the upcoming video we are going to discuss about the various other aspects pertaining to streams. So happy learning. Thank you.